All right, we are on. Hello, everybody. It's Atticus, aka Indy. Yeah, it's been a while since the last post, and I am fastly approaching year two. Actually, one complete year here in Vietnam. So, the 1 year anniversary, I do believe, is either April 4th or April 14th. And yeah, God, talk about a life changing experience. I've kind of briefly discussed it in some of my previous videos about what Vietnam has done for me, what my first experience was like, what it's like to achieve the dream, etc., etc. So, in this video, instead, I thought we will focus on what has happened in the year 2022 so far. So, we're going to use it from the mindset and the perspective of the Vietnamese culture, which is the New Year starts on Tet, which is February 1st, if I remember right. So it's the lunar New Year versus the solar New Year that I think America uses. So let's start with Tet. What happened on Tet? I broke my ankle. First time in my life I've ever broken a bone. I had a small shard of the bone. What happened was I was rear-ended. I was on my way to meet a friend, and we were gonna play some chess. So I went to this arts and crafts store to pick up a chessboard, and I had my turn signal on. And as I pulled to the side, pull off to the side of the street to where the vehicles, the scooters, motorcycles, all that stuff park at. This drunk driver just slammed into me full speed. I remember I kind of blacked out for a second. I collapsed because he ran right into my ankle. I woke up. There's maybe like 10, 15 people around me, and everybody's yelling in Vietnamese. So of course I don't know, what's being spoken, what's being said. I just remember the guy was freaked out. He kept raising his hands. I'm so sorry. This is what I think he was saying, or something like that. As he would slowly back away, and he eventually just got on his bike and left. Me sat there for maybe like 3 or 4 minutes, and it was just these waves of pain. I haven't felt pain like that forever. And at the time, I didn't know my bones had broke. I've never had a broken bone before. I've always thought that I was immune to that. That somehow that I just had like Wolverine strength bones. So I sat there for maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and it's just this wave of pain just flashing over me, and it was, yeah. I mean, like, I'm no stranger to pain, and it's a unique sensation when you feel pain because it comes over you, it floods everything, right? It's an immersion of all your sensations, your sight, your hearing, your feeling, even your like emotional stuff is just numbed and dulled as you experience, this sharp, excruciating, and just, I don't know. You all know everybody's had pain. So I was finally able to collect myself, and I somehow made it into the store, and of course I'm collapsing on everything. I can't walk, and I'm like increnched teeth, trying to hold back tears because it hurt so much, and I'm like, I need a chessboard, please. Like I show a picture on the phone. So make it to the yes, yes. I went to a coffee house. I used to always make fun of it in America. People who sit at coffee houses, but here in Lokai, there's not many spots where you can play chess. You can have a nice table, a nice environment, be out of the rain or the cold. So, yeah, there's this really cool spot called Space Created Coffee that I like to go to. One of my friends introduced it to me maybe like 6 months ago or something like that. Um, I met my friend, and we we were playing Uno at first, and through sheer willpower, I tried to fight through the pain. Right, I tried to act like everything was okay, but I think she could tell that something was wrong. That I was trying to be tougher than what I was. That trying to focus when you're, when a bone is broken is not easy. I remember that we actually got through 2 games, and eventually I was like, all right, I need to you go use the restroom, and the restroom's probably maybe like 30 feet away. It's at the back end of the store, and I had no crutches, no cane or anything, so I'm holding on to like the counter at first, hopping on one leg, Then there's like three little steps that you have to jump down to. And I collapsed. I tried to hold on to a table and I lost my footing. I just fell into the ground because I couldn't support no weight onto the ankle. And so it's quite embarrassing. Everybody's seeing this and stuff. And I go use the restroom, finally make it back. And I asked my friend, I was like, all right, will you please take me to the emergency room? So, I spent Tet holiday, the new year, 2022, in the emergency room. Gotta say though that the service was amazing. For an X-ray, ultrasound, doctor's consultation, two crutches, medications, all that, I paid like $600,000, which is like $27 US. Now, if you would, do the same thing in America, as all my American friends know, like you'd be bankrupt for the rest of your life. You'd be paying thousands of dollars for the same service. So it's been maybe like 2 months now since the accident, and I just recently had a follow up on my ankles condition, and yeah, it's not good. It's still not good. Uh, One of the translators said that it's like an 8 out of 10 bad in the sense that the bone fragment, so it was a piece of bone that broke off, is mending itself. It's actually forming back into the ankle part, which is good, but the ligament. So you got to think that there's ligament and tendons. Ligament is what connects your bones to the bone. A tendon is what connects your muscles to the bone. The ligament of mine is my lateral ligament was the one that was completely just cut in half. So I had broken the bone and I had a torn ligament. What they noticed through the ultrasound is that the ligament, the tissues, instead of forming back together, they're actually pulling further apart, and that's partly to blame for me trying to uh, rush through the healing process. Like it's so hard not to walk. I mean, for example, I'm on the fourth floor of my apartment, so every day I have to climb up these stairs. So I'm always aggravating it. They told me that there was very, very bad inflammation, and one of the surgeons, the specialist, suggested that I go back to the crutches, whereas the doctor said that maybe I should just stay on the cane. Um, and so I'm getting some mixed results, mixed reviews. But I did look at the ultrasound, and I do have a medical background, so I'm able to decipher some of the, even though it's in Vietnamese, I do understand the concepts. Especially when it comes to like ankle injuries. It's like day one of being a corpsman in the Navy, since that's going to happen to a lot of your Marines. Um, but yeah, it was like a point 0.5 millimeter or point 0.5, whatever the measure of distance separation. Now it's at like point 0.7. So yeah, the tendons are pulling even further apart. Now the fear is that if I continue to aggravate it, that it will heal improperly, which would mean that I would have it would be permanently messed up for the rest of my life, which means I would have a permanent limp, which means that I couldn't go hiking no more, which means I couldn't support the weight of my motorcycle, which, if anybody knows me, you know how much I love racing and riding my motorcycle. Like, I need to be able to support. It's not, especially like in America when we're riding these, very much more powerful motorcycles. They're not these little light ones here that you could pick up with one hand. Back home, it takes a lot of weight that you got to put on that ankle to support the weight of that motorcycle. So if I lose that ability, I mean, that's like losing a part of myself. So my friend Josh knows a specialist in Hanoi, and he's going to try to refer me to him. And yeah, so I'll make a trip to Hanoi, 4 hours away. It's worth it. You can't take you don't want to take like an ankle injury, any kind of like ankle, foot, leg injury, knee, stuff like that for granted. You don't want to sleep on that, because that is one of the most important parts of life, is your ability to walk, to travel, and especially what am I doing here in Vietnam? I didn't come here to Vietnam just to sit down. I came here to travel, to explore, to adventure. So yeah, so that's what started with year 2022. Shortly after, got COVID. So yeah, I got COVID, but it was a very strange experience. For I had no breathing problems whatsoever, no coughing, nothing. All it was just extreme fatigue, body aches, and like a headache, chills, and stuff like that. all I can remember is like I would sleep for like 20 hours out of a day. It lasted for about 2 weeks. Like I would literally just be in bed, and I just went into like a self-induced coma. I have the ability to kind of get lost into my mind, to live inside my mind. My dad, my mom, my brothers, they could probably attest to this, that when I was a kid, I would live vicariously through, you know, right, if you can see right behind me here, those things right there, those books, well, all kinds of different books, or my drawings and the characters that I would design, Atticus, Mace, Justinian, Locus, etc. So I would create these worlds in my mind that I would be able to escape to, and it would help, when you're either being bullied, or if you're just outcast, or if you just had, just problems. So yeah, I'm very able to escape into what's called lucid dreaming, vivid dreaming. It's always been a gift that I've had. I can control my dreams. I can stay in my dreams. I can even wake up and then like purposely go back into where I left off into a dream. I don't know how I do it. For example, like, I mean, it happens all the time. I'll be in a dream, like I won't go into the details of the one I had last night, but I analyze these dreams. I write them down because I try to understand them. But I actually got up to use the restroom, and the secret is just keeping your eyes closed. You can't see light. If you see light, then whatever it is, the REM, the part of your brain that allows you to dream, it snaps you out of it. So I keep my eyes closed, and I kind of just use muscle memory to get to the bathroom. And yeah, I get there, use the restroom, lay back down, and within maybe 5 minutes, I'm back right to the dream, left off to the dream that I was having. So back to my original point is, yeah, during this COVID experience, it was just you know a self-induced coma. Like I just slept and slept and slept, and I remember just being able to walk to the bathroom. Felt like climbing the Mount Everest. Um, So yeah, in hindsight though, I'm glad that it happened. I mean, I had went 2 years without getting it, and now that I have it, I have natural antibodies, which is I don't care what anybody says, and I will be happy to debate any of you, and I will defeat you with facts and with like 2 years of science, because I guarantee you I have no life, whereas most of you do. So I spend all my time in research and all my time looking into this stuff. That my natural immunity is a lot more better than your vaccine. Did I say that out loud? Anyways, no, we're not gonna say that. Never mind. Cut that out because YouTube. It's a can of worms we don't want to argue. But my point being is I'm just glad because now that now I don't have to worry about it, right? And I was very fortunate that I'm assuming Omicron would probably be the variant from my research. Delta's a lot worse. If you're exposed to Omicron, then you have immunity to Delta and all the ones before it. So, and if you follow the natural evolution of a virus, it'll become more contagious but less lethal. That's how it survives. And any living organism on Earth wants to survive. So it's basic biology. It's following the natural state of just how virology works. Despite what you might hear, on misleading things and people with agendas and all that, like just do the research. It's basic science, like year one biology. Like you learn this stuff. So, anyways, so we had that. So a broken ankle, COVID, and yeah, so finally healed, finally recovered and all that. Um, see what else. Oh, I got a new job. A new job. So yeah, my old job, the one that didn't pay me for like 5 months. I won't mention a name, but yeah, horrible freaking company. I always have a soft spot for it because they gave me a chance when nobody else would. So I always love them for that. And I met some really good people there, but yeah, they owe me, close to like 90 million dong, which is like 4,000, 5,000 something dollars. So yeah, we opened a law. Me and a friend opened a lawsuit, and it looks like we might win. So I might be getting that money after all. So a year of my life was not spent for nothing. And with that money, that would open up some doors because the things that are really I've been able to isolate, identify, and recognize that have hurt me and my mental health and why this first year has been so hard for me. One of them was just a lack of not having the things that I care about, which, for example, is a motorcycle, a proper motorcycle. I need a motorcycle, and I know a lot of people just don't get that. You see motorcycles as just a way to get from point A to point B, or some kind of just luxury toy to try to maybe stun on people. But to some of us, it's a way of life. It's a culture. It's in our blood. It's the feeling. It's the way you dress. It's the sound. It's the vibration of the engine. It speaks to your heart, your soul, and it's just a subculture of what I am. It's an extension of what I am, and being 1 year away from my motorcycle, my CBR 600, is so challenging, very challenging. Not to mention my car. Don't get me started on my Mustang. So, yeah. So going into year two, I know that if I'm going to be successful with this Vietnam thing, I need to get me a bike that I know it's not going to be as good as my American bike. I know I'm not going to have like a 600cc sport track bike, super monster bike, but even a 250. As long as it's a sports bike, a CBR 250. They have a lot of 150s here. Maybe I don't know if it would fill that void, but it would definitely be an upgrade from what I'm riding now. Um, like the other day, I drove up to Sapa, which is the mountains, right? And the stupid bike that I'm on now, it just whenever it gets up the mountain, the elevation, maybe like a 10 degree angle or incline or whatever, it loses all acceleration. So I'm literally going maybe like 5 miles per hour for like the majority of the trip. And then eventually on the way back, when I got to Sapa, I handled some business. On my way back down, it actually exploded. So yeah, the gas line just exploded on me. So here I am, 28 kilometers from Lao Cai City, so the city that I live at, stranded on the side of a mountain, right? And the gas is just pouring from my bike. And yeah, I text a few of my friends. I'm like, yeah, I think I have a problem. But people. Well, one person in particular, Shy, if you're ever out there listening, you used to always say that I had the devil's luck, right? Well, I guess I still have it to a certain extent because when I was pushing my bike down the mountain on a broken ankle, maybe about 1 mile here, I randomly come across to a shop. There just happens to be a shop on the side of this mountain, this rural part of Vietnam. And yeah, this Vietnamese shop owner guy didn't speak English, but between me and him, I knew a little bit about obviously engines and stuff like that. We were able to diagnose and fix it, replace the fuel line, and yeah, fixed it. I mean, talk about luck though, right? But the point being is, I'm just tired of being embarrassed. I'm tired of this whenever I do see a proper motorcycle, just looking at them with envy. Like I feel like I deserve it, especially after everything I've endured this first year of no payments. The days without eating, the isolation, the no friends, which has changed. Granted, now year two, I have made several good relationships. Um, I'm a lot different. Slowly and surely, my mental and physical health is improving. Hell, just in 14 weeks of COVID, I lost 14 pounds. Since being here in Vietnam, I'm almost lost 20 pounds. If you can't tell, I'm just losing it just every day. And a big part of that is that I only eat one time a day, and I eat the same thing. I ate the same thing for the first year. Excuse me, banh mi. Excuse me, banh mi. So it's like a flatbread sandwich with all like vegetables and some kind of pork, right? So every single day, imagine eating the same thing every single day. Well, I did it. Now I'm on year two. I'm eating a new thing called chow tiet. Chow tiet bom is the way you say it in Vietnamese. So it's a rice soup that has very minced like pork, almost looks like hamburger in it. So it's called chow tiet, and then if you want the pork in it, you say bum. There's a chicken version of it, but I prefer the pork version. So yeah, once a day, I usually about maybe like 20 hours, 8 p.m. Give or take. I'll go get my chow tea, and yeah, my body's adapted to it. I also flood my body with multivitamins, so zinc, vitamin D, vitamin B, A through Z, every kind of supplement you could think about. So cut out soda, like just a lot of changes. And I can feel it. I feel the changes. You know what I mean? I feel my body being lighter, my mind being clear, the the lifestyle, of here in Vietnam is just so much more healthier and better than America. And that's why I don't think I could ever just live back in America again. It's just so unhealthy. And look what it did to me in just the 5 years of like I was depressed and just nearly destroyed, which I won't go into detail. Only a few people know that the backstory and the context of why I kind of lost myself there for like 5 6 years. But the thing is I'm repairing the damage. I'm fixing myself. There's still what I call a fractured psyche that I deal with, right? Pieces of my mind that they're fractured. And somebody who's really close to me said that there's two different personalities that I have that are conflicting with each other. Two parts of my mind that are always kind of conflicting. But in a way, it's not about choosing or which one that I want to be. Maybe just accepting that I'm both this person and this person. And yeah, the person who told me this, her wisdom and insight really did help me kind of like self-diagnose, maybe why I do have this fractured psyche, why it is I think the way I think and do the things I do and stuff. As for my job, it is amazing. I work for an international school. It's been a great pleasure. The management, I actually work for my friend Josh. Yeah, he is my immediate supervisor, and the director there is she very 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 well traveled, great personality, fellow American, but has like a like a laundry list of achievements. You name it, she's probably been there and done it. Degrees, TED Talks, certifications, CELTAs, Deltas, traveled every country, you know what I mean? Has a history at the military. Just somebody I really look up to. She is like what I would like to be if I had if I could rewind the clock. Well, Josh the same way too. Both of them. I'm I'm always coming from behind. I feel, but what you'll learn a lot in life though is what you maybe lack in knowledge or experience. You can make up for with passion and a good attitude. So that's and you can't fake that if you really do have the passion for it, and if you really do have the attitude and the work ethic and the motivation. Sometimes somebody will give you a chance. It's rare, but sometimes it will. And they gave me a chance, and I'm very thankful for it. So yeah, this school is so much different. It's night and day different from what I worked at before, and it actually pays. So slowly and surely, money's starting to come back. I've almost forgotten what money was. What money is. Of course, I don't give I don't give anything about money. What has money ever been to me, right? Like I already have everything I want. I have a sports car. I have my motorcycle. I have a nice chair. So now money is just a tool to fuel this adventure. I don't. I always live for the day, never tomorrow. Maybe it's a flaw, or maybe it's a source of my greatest strength. I don't know. I do have plans. I have ambitions. I have dreams. Obviously, look, it took me 10 years, probably 10 years, maybe 9.5. I don't know to get here to Vietnam, but I did achieve it. So yeah, of course, my mind's calculating. I have ambition. I have my next dreams. But it needs to be done in steps. And I realized that this Vietnam experience showed me, where I was exposed, where I'm weak at, where my capabilities end. There's only so even you could have the strongest mental, fortitude and mental power, and think that you can endure anything if you just have enough willpower. But no, everybody has their limits, and I've been forced to look in the mirror and see the limits of my capabilities. And one of them was just like, first of all, was just my anxiety, my isolation, my disconnect from people. Why I'm just always alone, why I never connect to anybody, and I'm fixing that. I've made a couple very good connections and friendships, and just learned I'm learning how to feel again, and it's a good. I have a long way to go, but the thing is I need to stop and fix that, solve that problem before I can move on, before I could go off and go start traveling, see Halong Bay, Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi, whatever, like all these different things, right? Like I need to be able to at least be able to leave my apartment. I need to be able to at least be able to be in like a team meeting and not just always be in the back trying to blend into the shadows, not trying to be noticed. I need to learn to listen, to really listen. There's a great quote by Alan Rickman that says that you should only talk when responding to something, which I'm trying to adopt into my life. Yeah, you'll learn more by listening, not just talking. So, so yeah, we're 3 months into 2022. That's kind of like the update that I got. Haven't done any new art pieces really. You can see there's a colonial marine right there that I did. Um, but yeah, I did see the Batman, and I won't go into details about how, but it was freaking amazing. It healed a part of my soul, and I did take a CVR 150R for a test drive. So I did ride a motorcycle for about 20 minutes, which was a brilliant, amazing feeling. Oh my god, it's almost orgasmic. I would think that I prefer the ride of a motorcycle over anything else, or maybe that's just part of my disconnect. I don't know. So as for the future, things are looking good though. I miss. Let me give some shout outs. I miss you, Ben. You're my best friend, Ben. My brother Jacob, Caleb. Doing the Air Force. Proud of you. Colton, Mason. You guys are doing your thing with school and your jobs. Of course, my grandma. Dad, mom, Lisa, Amy, everybody. Just everybody. Professor Kratz. I don't know if you ever watched this. My mentor, Dr. Jenke, who was a doctor who helped me. Um, he believed in me, and of course everybody from the Red Roof Inn. Kathy and Dershawn, DePauk, and Missy. So just everybody who's been in my life leaves an impression on your life, and you realize that when you look back. And one day I keep a journal. I write down every experience that I can, and I actually have several of them. Just thoughts. Maybe I meet a girl that I like and I write about it, or maybe I meet a friend that I learned something from, or maybe I meet an enemy, but I realize I try to, try to profile them, I try to understand them, or I try to understand the culture of Vietnam, and it actually helps me reflect on the culture of America and starting to see the cracks in my own people and my own society, and it's yeah, I mean I could just write papers and talk for days about the stuff that I've learned and realized, and that's just it's part of the benefits of this traveling, of seeing the world, is how it just opens your mind to so many things. And I'm only just 1 year into it, going into year two. Imagine what I could become, 10 years into this, what I'll see, what I could do if I just don't give up. Now the only downside is time. And like they say, nothing F's you worse than time. The more time I spend doing this, the thing that I love, is less time that I have left with my family, my grandma in particular. So if you do watch this, Grandma, know that every day I think about you, and I'm aware that, yes, I'm living my dream, but you're also getting older, and I'm really afraid that I'm missing out on time with, that I could spend with you. Same with you, Dad. Same with everybody. Even my brothers. Hell, you could get into a car accident, but you can't live your life in fear. I know that, but I'm just saying, it's a hard decision to make. It's a hard balancing act. I really wanted to come home on my 1 year anniversary for a month, but sorry, I was unable to do so since I started a new job. But I will get home to visit as soon as I can. Hopefully a month, maybe 2 months, but as soon as it's possible, I have the vacation time or whatever, I will come home, and it's gonna be glorious. I'm evolving. I'm changing. It's a metamorphosis. I'm becoming something different, better. I'm becoming what I'm meant to be, and the ghosts and the people of my past, and the people who hurt me, and the people who loved me, and of course, I forgot to mention one person that I really care about. Of course, that's you, Melissa. I'm very happy for you and your family, and I don't know if you even watch my videos anymore, but I really hope that everything is going good with your family and your life, and yeah, like I'm at peace, and but yeah, um, I don't know. I just wanted to give an update. I guess it's almost a 30-minute video. I'm doing good. I've had a few rough start to this year, but hey, it's gonna be a good story one day. But if I win this lawsuit and get this money owed through my old job, you could count your ass I'm getting that motorcycle. It won't be a 600cc motorcycle, but I could settle for even a 250 sports bike. I don't care. Just something to help me regain my identity. So, but anyways, I'm staying there, guys. I'm staying positive. Ben, I miss you, brother. Get your ass to Vietnam. I'm sorry for cussing. Get your butt to Vietnam. Like, you're missing out, man. You know, leave the United States. It's not there for you, buddy. Like, come out here. Yeah, we could conquer the world, man. So, Dad, take care. Jacob, Spider Man was great. Caleb, stay safe. Everybody, just thank you. So, all right, guys, it's Atticus. Also, I go by Indy here in Vietnam, like Indiana Jones. So if you hear me call myself Indy, that's why. But for all my YouTube friends, family, viewers, supporters, people who've stuck around, of course, you know me. My true name, form is Atticus. So, all right, goodbye, friends.